I mean, that's a problem when you're trying to help people that are ungrateful. You give them a finger, they want the whole hand, the whole arm. You know what I mean? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. My name is Orlando Martel, and this is Martel Dynamics. So, last time we read chapter 9 of The Hobbit. Today we're going to read chapter 10 of The Hobbit, which is a warm welcome. So, a quick recap of last chapter. They were prisoners of the Elf King, and they escaped with Bilbo's help, which used the invisibility ring, and now they are out. The elves are still in, the dwarves are still on barrels, inside barrels and a lake. Bilbo is out. So yeah, let's see what happens today. Before I actually start to reading the chapter, remember to follow me on the Instagram page at Martel Dynamics and at Goodreads, which I put on Goodreads every single thing that I read every single day. If I read 2 pages a day, I write it on Goodreads. So yeah, let's begin reading. Okay, a couple of things. So in the last chapter, they, as I understood it, they were in a lake and there were elves there, and Bilbo got drunk on some wine. I don't know if I understood it correctly, but as I understood, Bilbo got drunk and slept, and the dwarfs stayed on wherever they were. So I don't know if I'm making things up, but that's the impression I got from the last chapter. And now, chapter 10 begins saying that they are floating along a river of sorts. And now they came across this lonely mountain. So now I'm looking at the map again, you know, the Mirkwood, whatever, Wonderland map. It shows the Elf King halls. I'm thinking that's where they were. And then along the line of the river, the long Lake Esgaroth. I don't know if that's where the barrels got stuck. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And now they are at the lonely mountain. Okay, I'm a bit lost, but I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, shit. Bilbo is listening to a conversation of people in the trade station or wherever they are. I'm gonna read the sentence. It says, "Those lands had changed much since the days when dwarves dwelt in the mountain. Days which most people now remembered only as a very shadowy tradition." First of all, does that has anything to do with what I read in the first chapters where Thorin was talking about how his grandfather, his great-great-great-grandfather's possessions were stolen by the dragon? Are those the days the same as they're describing in the book as, you know, when the dwarves lived in the lonely mountain? Is this all connected in the same point? And another thing, I always get confused, and this has been a recurring point in all my videos, that I always get confused when the author makes reference to people, because what are people? I mean, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Days which most people now remember, blah, blah, blah. What are people? Again, I haven't seen a single human here. Gandalf's not a human. Bilbo's not a human. The dwarves are certainly not human, nor the elves, nor wherever the million species are in this book. I mean, what are people? And I just want to get clear that to myself, if people is a species that I haven't read about yet, or if people is referring to just all the species. Okay, shit. There's so there's so much information, so many points that I want to question. That, I mean, this is gonna be an eternal chapter for me because I'm still on the what, second page, and I have so many questions. So okay, first of all, this is the beginning of the chapter, right? And there's this image here of a lake town. Here, I'm gonna put the picture up, and it's like a pier. Is that what's called? Tier? Yeah, barrels, land. It's like a little community town of trade, I guess. I don't see a huge big mountain, and let alone a single huge one. I mean, I see small ones, but where's the lonely mountain here? Because, and second, I have a question about this lake town picture. Is this a point of trade where all species trade stuff? Like, is this a point of peace where dwarves and elves and whatever don't fight and they trade stuff, wine, wood, whatever? You know what I mean? Because I had that question when the concept of wine of wine barrels were introduced in the Elf King castle or whatever. How are they getting the wine? Well, it said that they are getting the wine from a distant land or whatever. Okay, but who do they buy them from? You know what I mean? How is that exchange made if they fight with everyone? You know what I mean? It's just, okay, maybe a nitpicking, but curious question. Second, I don't understand what they're trying to say in this second page of the 10th chapter. They're saying that, and I quote, the elf rode through the woods which the dwarfs had followed on the advice of Bjorn, now came to a doubtful and little used end at the eastern edge of the forest. Only the river offered any longer a safe way from the skirts of Mirkwood in the north to the mountain shadow plains beyond, and the river was guarded by the by the wood elf kings. I mean, I don't even know how I read that sentence. It's just, I couldn't, if you didn't notice, I couldn't read it because it's just so confusing to me. The point is that the path can no longer be used of sorts. But why are we talking about the path? I'm never gonna finish this chapter. I mean, so many questions. So, the author, he just keeps giving me nits and bits of information, and I want to know more, everything at the same time, and obviously I can. It says in a sentence, blah blah blah, Gandalf far away and giving him great anxiety, and that he was in fact finishing his other business, parenthesis, which is not common to this tale. Then don't even tell me that it doesn't come in this tale. When is it gonna come? In other books? I mean, I want to know, because obviously what Gandalf is doing is very important for him to live the lives of dwarves and Bilbo on the hands of what? Luck? Of a ring? He doesn't even know Bilbo has a ring. I'm not even sure at this point that Gandalf knows of the rings. You know what I mean? This fucking chapter, I don't get it. Look, it's like everything in this world has a personality. Everything in this world has life. You know, look at this. It says, the mountain seemed to frown at him and threaten him as it drew ever nearer. Is it a very symbolic or abstract, metaphorical way to describe how intimidating the mountain was? And what does it mean on it being intimidating? Because first of all, what? Is it huge? Okay, I know it's huge, but Bilbo doesn't know what waits for him in the mountain. All he knows is that there's a dragon. Oh, the dragon, maybe the dragon stuff. But all he knows is that he's on an adventure, blah, 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 on his way to look for Thorin's great-grandfather's fortune. another stuff I just remembered. Everyone is all scared of this dragon. I guess I'll know by the end of the book, but what about this dragon? Does it has a personality too? Can the dragons talk? I mean, what is the dragon? Is the dragon intelligent? Because I mean, if it's an animal, you can beat an animal. I mean, you can defeat it. Is it so smart? Is it so intelligent that it can steal, protect, make a castle? I mean, I don't understand. Okay, two things. First of all, I think I got my question about what does people mean, or are they humans? I think I got that answered because the book describes the people living on this trade station, I'm calling, as men. So I'm assuming they're human. Second of all, it's a really beautiful, for me, point from the author describing how the legend or the history or the myth of the dwarf kings of the mountain, that point of history still lives in the minds of these men because of the songs. And it's just a very I don't know how to describe it. Anthropogenic, what? You know, the study of humans. Anthropology is it? It's a very beautiful point for me that sometimes humans retain their culture or their history or things they want to preserve in human knowledge by putting them into songs or into art. And for me, that's a really historically accurate point to add to the story. And I don't know, it seems beautiful to me that the author describes this as old songs of the dwarf kings of the mountains. So by the use of songs, history was preserved and maybe even saved them from complete ignorance of what could happen to them by, I don't know, the dragon coming down from the mountain or something. I'm laughing because the author is describing a Bilbo getting the first dwarf out of the barrel, which is Thorin. And it's saying that, oh, the dwarf is so sore and so mad that, you know, it's been what? In the story, 2 or 3 days after being put in the barrel, or at the very least, maybe 24 hours. That's a lot of time being cramped up inside a barrel, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. It was funny to me. And second, it says that he's mad that Bilbo put it in there. I mean, did he prefer to stay on the cell in the Elf King's castle or whatever? These dwarves just need to stop bitching about everything. It's just funny to see the reaction of these dwarves getting out of the barrels. I mean, the young ones are happy, even smiling, and the old ones like Thorin are just bitching about everything in life. You know what I mean? It's just like people. You know, the older you are, the more prone you are to bitch about everything in life. You know, in the good old days, blah blah blah, and the young ones, the kids are just smiling about everything. What? Bombor is unconscious? Bro, it says he was asleep or senseless. I mean, that's That's a problem when you're trying to help people that are ungrateful. You give them a finger, they want the whole hand, the whole arm. You know what I mean? Look, Thorin to Bilbo, blah blah blah. I'm sure he has a right to expect it. I mean, their thanks. Though I wish he could have arranged a more comfortable journey. Bro, there was no journey for you, brother. I mean, you were gonna die in that cell because you were never gonna snitch on everybody else about what your true purpose were. And Bilbo finds a way to get you out, and now you're bitching about everything, yo. Okay, so I don't understand. There's like a prophecy that Thor's grandson was going to come again, not to the Lonely Mountain, but to Lake Town, is it called? And apparently Lake Town is close to the Lonely Mountain. Maybe they can see it from Lake Town, but they're not the same place. This is something I don't understand. It's part of the prophecy that when Thor or Thor's grandson comes, there will be gold everywhere, because it's described like when Thorin came and he's like saying, "Oh, I'm Thor's grandson, I'm here, I'm back, blah blah blah." Some people got out of the room running to see if the lake turned gold or something like that. I mean, what's going on? Okay, so I'm done reading chapter 10, A Warm Welcome. Yeah, they were received in this lake town as kings, I guess, as very, how do I say this? There was a freaking prophecy about them. So obviously when the one that is long waited for comes, people will, make a huge fuss about it. They will celebrate and everything. The king or master of the town obviously is hesitating about, is this really Thor's son or Thor's grandson? Whatever. I mean, I guess it's normal to doubt. The author describes the elven king as being wise by doubting whether they were really going to kill the dragon. He thought that they were going to steal whatever fortune they get, if they get it. And so the author says that he's wise, but he will be proven wrong. That I didn't understand very well. I mean, I don't know what he means about it. I don't know if the fact that I've been reading more consecutively now, it's, growing on me, the story. But that whole scene of they getting to the town, everyone singing, making new songs about the prophecy and about everything, I don't know. My imagination got me places, imagining them being, with huge banquets, whatever, of food, when days before they were almost drowning. I don't know. It was a really curious scene. What do I think of where everything's going? Well, the chapter ended when they told the masters that they were going up to Smaug. I really want to know how that ends, because they have no tools, they have no weapons. I mean, the only powerful thing that they have is the ring, and the only thing that the ring does, to my knowledge, is enabling you to become invisible. Is that going to kill the dragon? I mean, who knows? And the dragon is described as being very intelligent. What is going to make them kill the dragon? Is Gandalf going to take part in this? Because just the chapter before, it was described that his business is, he's getting over it and he's finishing and he's going to come back. Probably he's going to come back when they need it the most. I mean, maybe that will be the best for the dwarves, because, pardon my French, the only thing the dwarves do is fuck up every single time. And if it's not Gandalf, it's Bilbo that have to save their asses. I mean, hey, I'm being 100% honest here. Guys, that was my reaction to chapter 10 of The Hobbit. Next video, we're going to read chapter 11, which is titled On the Doorstep. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, to like the video. It really helped me to keep posting on this channel every single week. Follow me on the Instagram page at Martel Dynamics and on the Goodreads pages. And hey, as I always tell you in every video, if you haven't watched the movies or if you haven't read the books, don't watch these videos. It's just gonna spoil you. Or either watch the movies, read the books beforehand, or I don't know, read the chapters as I read them with you. So I hope you like this videos, and hey, see you in the next chapter. Bye.